What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stars Insiders podcast. Um, Today's a little later episode than I wanted to upload. I just haven't had a whole bunch of time to really sit down, watch some game film, and record a full episode here. But I got it out before game day. Hopefully I got it out before game day. But yeah, I'm trying to get this out before game day. Sometime I think. This is probably gonna drop sometime on Saturday night, September 13th. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Today we're gonna go over. We're gonna be previewing the Cowboys versus Giants game at AT&T Stadium. So, yeah, without any further ado, man, let's get straight to it. Alrighty, on today's episode, I want to go over I think the biggest and the most key matchups of this game, which I think will be both Cowboys offensive line versus Giants D line, and the Cowboys D line against the Giants offensive line. So, all right, I want to start first. I want to go over the main, I think, the most key players. I won't go over Dexter Lawrence a whole much because I think we know what Dexter Lawrence is, what Dexter Lawrence can be, how impactful Dexter Lawrence is in pretty much every game. But I do want to go over both Kayvon Thibodeau. I want to go over Brian Burns and even the rookie Abdul Carter, which I think he made a really good debut at Washington. So I want to start off with this one play. I'm not gonna go over a whole bunch of plays like I did the last episode. I kind of want to go over this sort of a little thoroughly, a bit quicker, so you guys can enjoy a more shorter video. All right, let's go over this one play here. This is going to be the sack from Brian Burns. Here we're going to see Brian Burns against Josh Connolly Jr., the rookie out of Oregon. Honestly, a pretty unfair matchup. Brian Burns against a rookie here. He completely destroys him here on this play. Let's give it a watch real quick. He's going to be on the left side of your screen there. Josh Connolly, the bend, the speed there is there. I think it's gonna be a really telling game for both our tackles, for both Tyler Guyton and for Terrence Steele. I feel like our tackles match up a whole lot better than. I mean, not even just our tackles, but our entire offensive line matches up a whole lot better against the Giants than the Commanders did on this last Sunday. Let's watch this again. I'm gonna watch Dexter Lawrence here on this play this time. I think he gets double teamed almost every passing down, just double teamed there. Kayvon Thibodeau got bagged there by Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil is gonna be a guy that's gonna be rough to get through, but he's not. I don't think he's on the level of a Lane Johnson, not Ryan Mailata, just Mailata. Yeah, I don't think he's on the level of a Lane Johnson or a Mailata. But it's still gonna be a rough, not a rough. It's still gonna be a tough matchup for whoever lines up across from Laramie Tunsil this game. So I'm gonna give this a watch one more time. Here we go. Brian Burns, left side of the screen, against Josh Connolly. Just beats him off the line. Just unfair. So yeah, Terrence Steele's gonna have himself He's gonna have himself a good handful against these guys. Against both Thibodeau, Burns, and even Abdul Carter. But I think Abdul Carter, now with the news of Micah McFadden being injured and out for Sunday's game, I think Abdul Carter's probably gonna be playing a little more of that Micah Parsons, that Penn State type of deal, or kind of how he played at Penn State a good bit, playing a little bit of off ball and playing a little more down the center. Not a whole bunch of rushing, just from the edges, but he's still gonna be rushing the passer, so it's gonna be something to look out for sure. Let's go on to this next play. This is that one play. This is again Josh Connolly against Kayvon Thibodeau here. Watch this play real quick. Thibodeau, I feel like, has gotten a whole lot better. Thibodeau's gotten a lot better as he's gone through his career in the NFL. again, Thibodeau, I think is the weaker, not the weaker, but not the the worst, I guess, of the pass rushers of the Giants. But he's not to be taken lightly. I think Kayvon Thibodeau was still a really good pass rusher. So seeing this matchup against Terrence Steele is going to be interesting. I hope Terrence Steele can hold his ground. I think Terrence Steele had a rough game against the Giants' defensive line, which kind of concerns me because the Eagles' defensive line is not at all at the level of the Giants' defensive line, edges wise. But let's watch this again. But this time, let's watch Mr. Brian Burns here going against Zach Ertz and Laramie Tunsil. I think, and I feel like Tyler Guyton is going to have probably the better day out of the tackles. Out of both Steele and Guyton. I think Guyton's going to have the better day. I think he's more powerful. I mean, of course, he's a lot lengthier. He's a lot bigger. He's a lot taller. I think Guyton he's gonna hold his ground for sure against these edge rushers. I don't think he'll get beat a couple times, but I don't think he'll get beat consistently, like every single play where you have to bench him and whatever. But Terrence Steele, I don't think so, but it might get so bad that he ends up getting benched for possibly Nate Thomas this game. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope Terrence Steele has a good game against these edge rushers, but it's gonna be a rough game, especially because Steele struggles a good bit against these faster, more bendier type of edge rushers, and so does Guyton, but not as much as Terrence Steele does. Now let's watch Dexter Lawrence here in the middle. I think again he gets double teamed here. I'm pretty sure almost at least like 70% of the passing downs. I think Dexter Lawrence got double teamed there. But yeah, I think if we can just contain Dexter Lawrence, double team him, do whatever you have to do to just contain Dexter Lawrence and have, I mean, I just want our tackles to just stand their ground. That's all we're asking for here. They can stand their ground and don't get beat every single play. I think we have a really good shot at beating this Eagles. This Eagles team. This is Giants team for sure. Let's watch this last clip here from this defensive line. This is a better area one here. Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, I think combined with the sack here, and Laramie Tunsil got called here for a holding here on Abdul Carter. But I want to watch Abdul Carter here. This is a play that I think was very nice, very interesting here from Abdul Carter. Just a little swim move over the top, just against Laramie Tunsil. So it's gonna be a rough. Again, it's gonna be a rough game for both tackles. I don't think they'll have a perfect game, but I do think we match up a whole lot better than the Commanders did. I honestly don't think Tunsil is as good as he was before, and I think Guyton is getting better each game, each rep. I feel like Guyton gets better, so I do feel pretty strongly that Tyler Guyton is gonna have a decent game against these guys. I don't think he's gonna lose a whole bunch of reps. And yeah, let's also watch here Thibodeau too. Thibodeau had a really good pass rush here, I think, against James Connerly. No time to throw the football. No, a whole bunch of time to throw the football, but he just couldn't make a decision there. But yeah, that's what you're gonna see. Defensive line is gonna get a pressure, and I'm pretty sure Dak is the best quarterback against pressure, out of almost every NFL quarterback. Or if not, he's one of the best. He's one of the best in the NFL against pressure. So I really don't feel too worried about Dak Prescott if the game gets rough for these tackles. Because we also have we have tight ends that can come in, chip, help with the block a little bit. I think if they just give Dak enough time to get the ball to Pickens, CD, this game should be maybe not a blowout, but this game I think can be dominated by this Cowboys offense. Alrighty, I kind of want to go over here a little bit this Giants offensive line. I think we match up a whole lot better than the Commanders do. I think we have a whole lot. We have way better edge rushers. I think we have better interior guys. Alrighty, here we go. Let's watch this play here. I think this is Javon Kinlaw here going for the tackle for loss. Number 97 here. Let's watch him against. I think no, that's a different guy. Hold up. Who is this guard? I honestly do not know this guard's name, but yeah, I think that's Greg Van Rotten. John Runningen, I think, is his left guard. The right guard. Their interior offensive line is awful. It's terrible, which is really, really good for us because I feel like Kenny Clark and also Odigizua can have a huge game against these guys. I think if we just get pressure on Russell Wilson and play a decent coverage, I don't think these guys will score a whole bunch of points on Sunday. But yeah, I think we match up really, really well against these guys. I think we should be able to beat I think Dorrance Armstrong had like 8 pressures this game, which is insane. I think if Dorrance Armstrong can get that many pressures against these tackles, I think we can have I really do feel like Ezeraku, Dante Fowler, Marshawn Nealon can have a really, really good game against these guys, both against the pass and the run. Because the entire offensive line is just really, really bad, and especially if Andrew Thomas doesn't play this game, I think we're gonna see a really, really, really impressive game from the defensive line, from both the defensive tackles and the edge rushers. Let's go on to this next play. I think this is a play. This is one I kind of wanted to highlight a little bit because I feel like I saw there's a whole bunch from Russ this game where he got pressure in his face and he just completely not gave up on the play, but he kind of just threw it to the ground. So I think, again, if Andrew Thomas doesn't play, we're gonna be seeing a whole bunch of this Hudson guy and Elemanor. They're both really they're honestly both terrible. I think Ezeraku can have a bit of his little come out game this week against both of these tackles because they're just terrible. They're honestly terrible. This is not really a good play to really assess how terrible they actually are because they got blitz from everywhere. But let's just watch this play. I just want to watch Russell Wilson here because I think he just played really bad against pressure this game. He just threw it straight to the ground. I actually want to watch this. I want to watch Lemon War here. I think he got. Yeah, he just didn't pay attention to the edge rusher at all. Now I want to watch Hudson here, left tackle. Let's watch this guy right here. I think that's against Martin. I don't know what his first name is, but that's against Martin. Yeah, he just gets beat, just straight up beat. Hudson. It should be a really good game for our defensive line. Because this, I mean, if they had a good game against the Eagles, I don't see why they wouldn't have an even better game against the Giants offensive line, which is just 100 times worse than the Eagles. I feel like if Kenny Clark can make the impact he did in stopping Saquon Barkley against the Eagles offensive line, I think he can ball up everything. If we just force Russell Wilson to pass the football and just force guys to rush the passer, I think we can get to Russell Wilson a couple of times here in this game. Let's go on to this next play here. I think this is a sack here from Deron Payne. See, Deron Payne, I think he's going against who is that? Van Rotten. if Deron Payne can get this much pressure this fast against Van Rotten, just imagine what Osa Odigizua and Kenny Clark can do against this just really horrible interior. Watch here, Deron Payne. He's just comes up. The guards are lost. They just don't know what to do. Tackles do a okay job of blocking. And just bang. I'm telling y'all, I think this defensive line can go for maybe like 4 or 5 sacks this game. I don't think Tyron Tracy is going to have very many yards at all. I can see him having maybe 20, 30 yards this game. Rushing, I honestly think we're going to have an extremely, extremely, extremely good game against this Giants offense. Alrighty, so okay, that's gonna be it pretty much for the video. I want to end off the video with some predictions versus the Giants. Alrighty, I want to go first to the offense. I think Dak Prescott has another really insane game. I think this time I don't feel like CD will come up short. I feel like he's really talked a whole bunch of about how he wants to come back this game and have a really good game against these Giants cornerbacks. I'm not really worried a whole bunch about Paulson Adebo. I'm not worried a whole bunch about Tyler Newman, Javon Holland, Andrew Phillips. I think our guys are gonna have a really good game against them. I think Dak throws for around 260. I think he throws from 240 to 100 to about 280 this game. Also, he throws about 2 passing touchdowns here. I think Javonte Williams gets around 50 yards and a touchdown. I think our offensive line will honestly do pretty well against that interior. If we can just double team Dexter Lawrence and just keep doing what we're doing against the Giants. Run the ball up the middle. Come up with these really, really cool, really impressive, really, really unique rushing concepts and just run the ball how we did last week. I think Javonte will have a really, really solid game against this Giants defensive line. I think he gets around 50 yards and a touchdown. Now CeeDee Lamb, I think he comes back and has a really good game. I can see him having about 6 to 7 receptions, around 100 and some yards. I think from around 100 yards to around 120 receiving yards. I think I can also see him getting a touchdown. I feel like CeeDee Lamb gets touchdowns against the Giants pretty often. I think he'll get involved a whole lot more against this Giants defensive back room. I think he gets from 60 to about 90 yards this game. I think he'll have a tiny bit of a little breakout game against this team. I think he maybe even catch a touchdown from Dak Prescott this game. Now going on to the defense, I think Kenny Clark is gonna have a really, really, really good game. Same with Osa Odigizua. Don't get me wrong, but I think Kenny Clark is gonna have a huge impact because Kenny Clark can not only can Kenny Clark defend the run at an elite level, I think he can also rush the passer at a very, very good level. I think Kenny Clark ends up leading the team in pressures this week. I think the edges have a really good game. I can see Dante Fowler getting a sack. I can see Marshawn Ealing getting another sack. And Zaraku getting a couple pressures there for sure too. I think we really don't allow a whole bunch on the ground from these guys. I think if we held Saquon Barkley to, I think it was 60 yards, I don't think Tyron Tracy goes over 40. I don't think the team in general goes over even 100 yards. I think if we can hold Russell Wilson is not a huge runner of the ball, but he does tend to run the football a good amount, not a whole bunch, but a good amount. I think if we can just do a good job of containing Russell Wilson in the pocket and just getting to him, sagging him, I think we really won't have to worry a whole bunch about Russell Wilson rushing the passer, not the rushing the passer. I'm sorry, about rushing the ball. He is nowhere on the level of Jalen Hurts. I don't think he'll have a game anywhere close to Jalen Hurts. I think if anything, he'll probably have maybe 15 yards when he just breaks off one like up the middle or something. But I really don't think we'll allow very much rushing yards. I think our team is just a whole lot better. I know people are saying this could be a bit of a trap game for us, but I really, really don't think. I mean, going against the Giants is a trap game. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Giants are trap game material. I think they're just bad. They're just bad. I don't think. I mean, I don't want the Cowboys to troll. I mean, how they done in the past, how they did last year with the Saints, where they just trolled and got ran through by the Saints. I really don't think there's gonna be another one of those situations. I don't hope it's another one of those situations. But I think if the Cowboys do their job, do everything they need to do, rush the passer well, pass the ball well, run the ball well, I think the Cowboys can pull off a win here. I think the Cowboys, if they do everything right, or even just a little more than half of the things right, I think the Cowboys put up around 35 points. I think the Cowboys win 35-13. I don't think we'll allow a whole bunch from this Giants offense. I think if we can get pressure on Russell Wilson, force him to make some stupid throws, I don't think he'll have a whole bunch of time to really look for Malik Neighbors. I think Wanda Robinson is going to be, I think, the guy to look out for. If he does play on Sunday, I think Wanda Robinson is going to be the guy to look out for sure, because we don't have a very good slot guy this week. We'll have Diggs for a little bit. We'll have Kyrie Elam playing pretty much the entire game, and I think we'll probably have Reedy Stewart, and I think Zion Childress kind of rotate in and out from that nickel position, maybe even play a little bit at the outside. But I'm really not worried at all, if much, about the Giants receivers, Giants running backs. I'm not worried about the Giants at all. Honestly, I'm not. With how the Cowboys played last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are the reigning Super Bowl defending champions, who are one of the best teams in the league, one of the teams with the best rosters in the league, I think the Cowboys should dog walk the Giants. If they don't, it's gonna be sad. If they get in a close game against the Giants, that'll be really sad. I think the Cowboys should dominate. I think the Cowboys have everything they need to dominate. I think the only thing that could kind of hurt us is Deron Bland being out this week. But I still don't think that's a big enough factor for us to lose by a lot or give up a whole bunch of yards this game. But all right, that's gonna be it for today's video. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter one. I really do thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support on the last video, on the last episode. I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch more. I think hopefully Monday or Tuesday I'll be dropping the Giants Cowboys breakdown of the film. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. God bless each and every single one of you guys, and have a good day. Peace.